YouTube, what's happening? Your boy DBA Creations. I'm coming back with another video. Obviously, what we're gonna be doing today, we're gonna be hitting up some sanding. All right, so I'm gonna be doing some sanding today on the fender. Not gonna be going too much into detail of what I've been doing and what I'm doing right now. As you can see, what it's looking like, you know, sanded a bit already. So we'll just get right into it. I'm gonna leave a more detailed video later on for you guys. So right now I'm just sanding with 220 grit. All right, so just finished sanding it. Now I'm gonna wet sand it with some 320 grit. Then I'm gonna work up from that 320 to a 400, but I'm gonna try to get some of that off with some water. Usually you can use some compressed air or water, either one. So now I'm gonna grab my 320, start wet sanding this. Get like a block for this so you can get the corners, you know, real good. Whenever you wet sanding, you're gonna get that milky looking substance. And just make sure you also get it real good as well, because if you don't, well, make sure it's wet real good. So after hitting it with the 320, now I'm about to hit it with a 400 grit, and I'm gonna wet sand that as well. As you can see, it's drying up because I went ahead and sprayed it. You don't see any type of, you know, debris on it. So I'm gonna do the same process right here. Right. And what you can do to like kind of keep your sandpaper from drying out, kind of like mist it on, you know what I'm saying? Do something like that. I'm gonna do the same thing. Then after that, I'm gonna hit it with some primer. Get this more thorough after I cut the video. All right, guys, so I just hit this with the 400 grit, wet sanding it. I'm gonna spray it up again, and then after that, you use a like look up like on YouTube like what kind of rags you can use to like wipe down these things. You look that up, then and you can get back to you know, painting and all that. The next process that we're gonna be doing after this thing dries is priming it. Okay, so got this about out the way as possible. Now I'm gonna let this stuff dry. Then I'm gonna start hitting that sucker with the primer. Try to get like 3 coats on them. All right, so I'm gonna shake this sucker up for about a minute. All right, so I'm gonna hit this sucker with 1 coat. Gotta overlap, baby. Do some light coats at first. Goodbye to my concrete. All right, guys, so almost done with how much I've been priming this sucker. I'm gonna probably do 4 coats on this so I can wet sand it and then spray my base coat on top so I can get a smooth finish. Miraculously, the bugs ain't out. So I'm gonna get this bottom part right here, and then I'm gonna pop over this video tomorrow. I'm gonna show you guys how I'm gonna do the base coat. All right, guys, so this is pretty much right here the finished product. Is my flash on? That's crazy. Okay, so this right here is pretty much the finished product. Sand is the sand. The primer is still kind of you know, trying to work its way through right now. Got a slight slash right here. I think this is already in the sanding, the primer and all that. I got this right here. But what I'm gonna do today, I'm gonna wet sand this sucker so I can get it real smooth, and then I'm gonna probably hit it with the base coat right after that. So let's go go ahead and do that real quick. So what I'm doing right now, I'm letting this thing kind of bake in the sun just to kind of let the paint dry on it, the primer, before I wet sand it, because it's still a little sticky. So I wouldn't recommend like trying to wet sand this until this thing would be all the way dry, but I'm going to take that chance anyways. I'm already at the primer, and that's pretty much like the first couple steps you take. And well, you might as well do it at the primer before you go ahead and do anything else. Otherwise, if you don't, then you know, say if I would go ahead and just started painting, yeah, you know, I'm gonna have a little bit of imperfections like right here, which is not because of the paint. It's really like the way the panel sat down in that, you know, certain position. So make sure you guys, you know, whenever you're putting things in certain positions, say like for this instance, you know, basically prop it up, you know, kind of like how I would have it on the fender, you know, prop it up instead of having it like face straight down, because all the paint is going to want to, you know, stay down in that certain area, and it's going to kind of like travel a little bit. It won't cause a run, but it'll be almost similar to a run, and that's the problem that I had. So regardless of the fact, I'm going to wet sand this after a couple minutes of this sitting, and then I'll go ahead and you know, dry that up, hit it with some degreaser just to try and get some of that wet sand off, the extra excess, and then I'm gonna paint it after it dries. All right, so got this sucker back up after I finished wet sanding it, and what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna hit it with one more coat of primer, then I'm gonna get to painting, bro. I wanna tell people I'm not gonna be able to get like a lot of these imperfections out, like that gouge. Well, there's one around here somewhere, like that one. I can do it with a little spot putty, and you know, but I'm not gonna do that. But what I was really gonna say, like I tell most people, what you want to do, you want to overlap your sprays. And I'm gonna show you guys how I do that real quick. Okay, so time to demonstrate on what I mean by overlapping. So check this out. I guess I'm gonna start right here. Just watch. I use spray about like right here. It's about how many other inches? I don't know. Maybe 8, maybe 10. I don't know. But check this out. All right. See how I got that one? I'm not gonna spray up. I'm gonna spray right on it, like pretty much right over it. See that? And I do that the whole way. Another thing about me spraying, I usually like, you start right here and then go, and you start right here and then go. Don't start right here. You're gonna mess it all up. I usually go with light coats the whole time too. So let me do that real quick. All right, so I let this thing sit for a good little minute. Now, let's hit it with the base coat, bruh. Oh, wait, let's go. And that'll be the first coat. So I'm gonna let that dry for like 10 minutes or so. Then I'm gonna go back and get some more coats in on this sucker. I think I caught the bottom right here. Yep. Good. So like I said, I'm gonna let this sit for 10 minutes. Then I'm gonna come back and hit it with another coat. All right, guys. So just want to share this with you real quick. Is my light on? Surely isn't. Let me get it brighter. Yeah. So just did the base coat about 3 times. It's looking marvelous. So I'm gonna wait a couple minutes, maybe about 10 to 30, and then I'm gonna hit them with the matte clear coat. The matte clear. I'm gonna hit that. I'm gonna do at least 3 to 4 coats on that, and then I'll be done.